So I want to know, have your favorite Asian influencers, celebrities, politicians, activists, singers, you know, all these people that want to dance to hip-hop and you know, we cool, we down, and what y'all call it, K-pop. Has your favorite K-pop singer spoken against the Chinese government about this? Have they used their platform to say this is what's going on and this is not okay? Welcome to my channel. You already know what time it is, so I'm not even going girl, oh girl. Shout out to you if you are already subscribed and you already know who I am. You might want to get some water if you've never heard of me before and you just, this might be a hard pill for you to swallow. My last couple of videos on my channel has been about the coronavirus and what's happening in China behind the coronavirus pandemic. If you are not familiar with some of my content, after this video, you might want to check out some videos because this one right here is gonna ruffle some feathers, and honestly, I don't care. So let's just jump right into this. Like I told you guys like 2 videos ago, I get sick like twice a year. So I was feeling a little bit under the weather, hence to why I haven't been uploading as much content on YouTube as I normally would, especially during the time of quarantine where really ain't shit else to do. So if you're not following me on Instagram, I do suggest you do so. It's just a little bit more convenient for me to quickly get out information, post different things. So when I'm not able to actually sit down and make a full-length video, you can still kind of get some content from me on Instagram. Now, if you have been following me on Instagram, you know that I've been very vocal and I've been on China's neck about what they have been doing to the Black people in China. So according to my research, basically China has been putting out information that their coronavirus numbers, so the deaths and the cases, have been going down, right? I remember one day I looked and it was like 3 deaths from China. Meanwhile, the rest of the world was at least 1,000 or more a day. So of course that sparks a lot of curiosity as to how is it that China, the place where this virus originated, is now down to 3 deaths a day while the rest of the world is rising, right? And basically the American government finds out that China has been lying about their numbers this whole time. I mean, China has been lying about this pandemic from the very beginning. So I don't know why we would trust or believe anything that they say now. According to China, the numbers of their coronavirus cases have been starting to climb back up. So first it was declining and now it is inclining again. They're now saying that it is the Black people, specifically the Africans, who are the reason for the number of their coronavirus cases to start to incline again. They allege that 5 Nigerians tested positive for the coronavirus. And so with this information, they have now decided to completely lock down all the Black people in China. And you know, I think we as like Americans or people who don't necessarily live in China or know much about the Chinese and their population and you know how they just work in general, we don't necessarily think that there are Black people in China. But in fact, Guangzhou, I believe I'm saying it right, Guangzhou is one of the cities in China where there are predominantly Black African people. So there are a lot of Black people in China. Number one, there are Black students in China. I find that it's actually more economical to send their children to China to, you know, get degrees and get an education, as well as businessmen who go to China for business. We'll dive into that a little bit more in this video, a little later in this video. This video is going to be very informative. It'll probably be pretty lengthy. Get comfortable because you're about to get real uncomfortable. People are saying, you know, like, why is China doing this? Why is China showing their racism? Why is China kicking the Black people out of their homes? Why is China locking Black people in their homes? Why is China refusing to let pregnant women, pregnant Black women into the hospitals? Why is China saying you can't eat at our restaurants? How, and why has China become the new Jim Crow? And as I said, it's basically because they one, don't want to be the face of this virus. China, for some strange reason, it's like, bro, like, I'm sorry, sometimes you just gotta accept your fate. Like, it came out of Wuhan. It is what it is. Like, you can't, it just is what it is. At first they were blaming the American troops, saying that, oh, the American troops brought the virus, and now they're saying that it is the Blacks that brought the virus. So China, you need to humble yourself, okay? I'm gonna be very real in this video. Some things might seem offensive, but I'm really just trying to really speak on facts, okay? It's literally a war against Black people in China right now. Like I said in my last video, I always come with receipts, guys. Like, I can't, I always come with receipts. So you can check out my last video if you want links and articles and things like that. You'll have all of that there. This video is more so a conversation, right? So now it's like, okay, we see what's happening. Got it. We got the picture. We got it. So what are we going to do now? And that's more so where this video is. That's more so what this video is, kind of like a conversation. This conversation is more specific for Black women because I'm gonna dive into beauty, and we're gonna talk about this because it's so psychological. And while I was under the weather, I was just, what can I do? How can I, you know, what can I do? What can we do? And I know that's what a lot of people ask themselves when they see these things, like, oh my God, this is horrible. What can we do to help? I was having a conversation with some ladies on my live one day, and we were talking about, we were talking about Black-owned business. And that's honestly probably our number one and our the most powerful thing that we as individuals can do as of right now, right? Again, I'm gonna be real. We're gonna have these real raw conversations. Now, the truth of the fact is that probably 90 to 100% of the things that we use on an everyday basis is made in China. And that's, you know, for Black women, for white men, however you look, wherever you are on this earth, 80 to 100% of the things that you are using, that you are wearing, you know, it was made in China. This is where we really got to look to our Black millionaires, our Black billionaires, you know, all those people that, you know, all these celebrities that you love and all these politicians that you voted for and things like that. Like, we need to look to these people that have these resources to say, hey, like, we need factories overseas. That's number one. Without these factories, without these Black owned factories overseas, okay, without these Black owned factories overseas, we're gonna continuously be putting money into our oppressors. That's number one. Now, number two, right, now that to the side, right, that to the side for right now, because with that comes, like, you know, going overseas, building relationships, going overseas, learning the languages, building relationships, having the finances to do all of these things, as well as, you know, build a factory, employ people, and, you know, that takes a lot of money. You can't forget about that, because eventually that is the goal. The goal is for Black people to actually own manufacturing companies. So as of right now, what the everyday person can do, you know, what the everyday person with the everyday budget, you know, 9 to 5, is support Black businesses. So essentially those funds aren't going back to some company, but at least we know that those dollars up front are going into Black hands. Black owned brands. I wanted to put y'all onto this app that I've been using for quite some time now, called Ebony Life. Girl, it's basically the Instagram for melanin, like, hello. And Ebony Life is basically a discussion forum where women can discuss health, beauty, parenting, relationships, colorism, bull, or any topic that you want to express yourself. Download Ebony Life, available on Android and iPhone. I will have the links in the description box. Okay, and that's what we can do as of right now. And I asked, you know, I just want to ask you guys a question, and I asked this on my Instagram. I said, you know, Black women, like, we are so talented. We can do anything. Like, I said, do the Chinese cook better than you? Like, do they make fried chicken better than you? And most Black women in my comment section said no, absolutely not. And, you know, if they do, then fine, you can learn how to cook. You don't have to eat from them. This is kind of what was mind-blowing to me, that they're literally actually just serving you Black Southern food. It's really nothing Chinese American about your local Chinese restaurant. They don't eat that. Chinese Americans are not eating chicken wings and french fries and boneless spare ribs and pork fried rice. Like, they're not eating that. They're serving you what they don't even eat. If you go to the Spanish restaurants, the Spanish people, we call them Spanish people, but we know that they're Latin. But the Spanish people are eating rice and beans. Okay, they're eating un pollo and all that good. Okay, you go to the African restaurants, yeah, we eating fufu. You go to the Caribbean restaurants, absolutely, they're eating curry. You know what I'm trying to say? Half the times, and no shade, no tea, again, this is all facts, you can look it up. Half the time, you really don't even know if that's boneless spare ribs that you're eating. That could be chopped up dog, and it has been chopped up dog in many cases. Chopped up rats, chopped up anything we could chop up, throw some color on, put some sauce on it, serve it, your Black ass is gonna eat it. And that's a problem for me. And I'm not, you know, pointing a finger. The Chinese restaurants in my neighborhood was good, okay? I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Sometimes it just be, yeah, I'm just craving it sometimes, okay? But, okay, why can't you run it? Why can't you run the Chinese restaurant, the Chinese American restaurant? You know what I'm trying to say? They won't hire you. They won't eat that food. They really only acknowledge you because you're walking in to give them money. What have they given back to the communities? Okay, literally, what have they given back to the communities? Have they protested with your community, your Black community? Have they supported the Black Lives Matter movement? Do they show any type of tribute or support during Black History Month? Are they donating to the churches in these Black and brown communities? Are they donating to the churches, maybe giving food to the churches? I do know one Chinese restaurant that has, they didn't donate food, but they definitely, you know, they provided food during, you know, whatever the church was doing. But again, I'm talking donations. I'm talking something that you're doing out of the goodness of your heart. Have they given to community centers and maybe anything? If anybody has, you know, seen that, you can let us know down in the comment section. But overall, no, they're just there to take. And again, I understand business. I understand needing to make your money. I'm not taking that from them. But at the same time, when I go into these establishments, whether it be sometimes the Chinese food, whether it be the nail salon, a lot of these times as a Black woman, I feel like even though I'm spending my money with you, I feel like I'm doing you a favor. It's a lot of times where I'll go to the nail salon, and this is more Korean owned, so I'll go to a Korean nail salon, and a lot of times I feel like, and I spoke to one of my friends about this, and we both said like, yeah, sometimes I kind of over tip, even if it's like an extra $3-4, right? I kind of over tip just because I know that in their mind they're kind of looking at it set up. They're looking at it like, you know, these Black girls don't tip, or these Black girls don't have money, or whatever the case may be. So I'm not a broke bitch, baby. So I'm gonna give you a little extra $4, you know, especially if my nails look good. I'm gonna give you a little extra $4 just so that you know, like, just to kind of show them that we're not cheap, we're not broke, you know what I'm trying to say, just to kind of dismantle the stereotype that I know that they most likely have, and a lot of them have verbally expressed in English and in Korean, you know, how they feel about this. All right, so I say all that to say, so that's under the umbrella of Black owned business. Now, not everybody is meant to be a business owner, right? We gotta really accept that fact too. Not everybody's good with numbers, not everybody's good with business, but you know, just kind of taking the extra initiative to say, okay, you know what, the quarantine has been lifted, I want to get my nails done. Let me go online. You got your phone in your hand 24/7. Let me go online, let me ask around and see if there are some Black nail techs in my neighborhood that get busy. 9 times out of 10, the Black nail techs that you're gonna go to probably get way more busy than the Korean nail techs that you've been going to. Now, I can say that in my personal opinion. But the first time I got my nails done by a Black nail tech, she was in Queens. I can't remember her name right now. This was like 4 years ago, but she was in Queens. I'm gonna see if I could find her on Instagram. But she was in Queens, and my nails stayed on for a whole month. You can ask my best friend, bro. When the Koreans do my nails, I'm at that salon probably every week. Once, yo, I went to the nail salon 2 days before my birthday. Bruh, I got to Jamaica, a nail was already gone. And I'm not rough. Like, I literally, all I do all day is talk with my hands and do makeup. So I'm not like, you know, working with my hands all day and stuff like that. Like, I'm literally just doing this all day, blending. So I don't know how my nails always come off. But that very time that sister did my nails, it was on for a month. I'm just saying. Now, you might have a good relationship. Now I'm kind of trying to answer questions as I go, as I'm talking. So let's just say you personally have a nail tech in which, I'm sorry, Lo, you know, Candy's the only one that does my eyebrows good. Candy do my brows, Candy do my wax, Candy do my nails. I ain't never have no problem with Candy, right? Now, if that's the case for you, like, who am I to tell you not to, you know, girl, don't go to Candy, and you know, who am I to say that to you? All I can do is show you what's happening and let you do you. But the problem is, we don't have the mindset of justice for one is injustice for all. We have the mindset of, well, it ain't bothering me. Well, Candy ain't do nothing to me. Like, I don't got no problem with that. That ain't happening to me. That's happening to them. We don't have that unifying mindset. When you look at the Jewish community, Monica, like, and this, I talk about the Jewish community a lot, because I lived in Brooklyn all my life, and the Jewish community is just always astonished me, okay, in good and bad ways. They've always astonished me. But one thing that I've always admired about the Jewish community is the way that they stick together. Now, let me give you a story time real quick. One of my friend's stories on Instagram, and she lived like on the same block as a lot of the Hasidic Jews. And you know, for some reason right now in Brooklyn, the Jews, or in New York, the Jews do not want to abide by the quarantine. Like, they just want to be outside in the streets, you know what I'm trying to say? So it's not only black people that's outside barbecuing and shit. The Jews don't want to be in quarantine either. Now, it was pretty late, you know, I was looking at her story, and it was nighttime, so it's pretty late. And they were all outside with the kids, everybody outside, okay? And one of their neighbors was kind of like, yo, like, what is going on? I'm gonna call the police. I'm gonna call the police. So all the Jews stop and look. They're looking at him. Sometimes I be wondering, like, yo, what are they thinking? I want to go undercover as a Jew one day, because I really want to know what's up. So they stop, and they all looking at him. He's fessing them up like, yo, you got your kids outside. Y'all need to go in the house. Y'all need to go in the house. What's going on? Why y'all outside? Well, it's a quarantine right now. It's late. Why y'all outside? Y'all breaking the rules. I'm calling the police. I'm calling the police. Calling the police. This is a white man saying this. The police get called. And this is in Brooklyn, okay? The police get called. The Jewish police showed up. I said, oh, the Jewish police, not NYPD. The Jewish police showed up. I almost cried. If a Jew needs help, the Jewish police will show up. I almost cried. I said, now imagine as a black person walking down the street, you feel like you're being discriminated against, or your livelihood is being threatened, and you could call the black police to come and just make sure, you know, you're gonna get home safe and everything is okay and we don't need no problems. Everybody go about their business. Yes, leave this lady alone. If she want to sit here and barbecue and walk, let her sit here and barbecue. I almost cried when she said the Jewish police showed up and he was told to go inside his house and have a good night. Now, I'm not gonna edit this video because I don't got time. I told you I'm not feeling well, okay? So this video going straight to YouTube. We ain't doing no editing in here. I might edit a little bit, but we ain't really doing too much editing in here. So y'all gotta excuse, you know, my little pauses, my little adjustments. Y'all just gotta excuse that for now, because I ain't editing too much. It's gonna be long. But I really damn near could have cried when she said that. You know, I am PMSing right now, so I'm a little emotional, but when she said that the Jewish police showed up, I really was like, wow, it must be nice, right? So when you think about it from a standpoint of unity, it don't gotta be personal. It don't gotta be, oh, well, Candy ain't do nothing to me, so I ain't. But when we're trying to make, like, people don't, you know what, I don't blame a lot of people, because we weren't necessarily bred to be revolutionary minded. So I can't necessarily blame a lot of people, especially a lot of younger people. We weren't really bred to be revolutionary minded, right? So we still kind of believe that everybody's free. But at some point, you do have to understand that even if someone isn't directly affecting you, their silence is them being complicit. And that's when I'm gonna get into these influencers' asses. I remember not too long ago, we were talking about cultural appropriation, and specifically box braids, right? And you know, you see all of these white girls, they want them braid there, they want box braids. And I remember I saw a video where Nikita Dragon, you know, she had her box braids done, and she talked about, you know, giving back to the culture. And she was like, you know what, I'm gonna do this post. And she was on Instagram and she was like, yeah, you know, I love box braids, you know, black women wear this to protect their hair, and you know, I just want to, you know, show respect to the culture and blah blah blah. What I need people to understand, and this is why we say everybody want to be black until it's time to be black. I need people to understand that same energy that y'all have to wear box braids, to get lip fillers, to say the N-word, when it's times like this, if y'all kept that same energy, I would actually respect you. Like, if you was somebody that did all of that and turned around, and when we needed you to really be an ally, you were an ally, I would respect you. I would say, nah, leave her, sis, because she's with the cause. She's with the shits. But when the only time you have something to say positively about the Black community is when you want to excuse your cultural appropriation, I have to call you out. So I want to know, have your favorite Asian influencers, celebrities, politicians, activists, singers, you know, all these people that want to dance to hip-hop and you know, we cool, we down, and what y'all call it, K-pop. Has your favorite K-pop singer spoken against the Chinese government about this? Have they used their platform to say this is what's going on and this is not okay? Lovely T did a video about Karuchi, you know, where she threw up this whole post, xenophobia is not okay. Xenophobia against Asians is a crime. Xenophobia against Asians is a crime. Karuchi then went on her Instagram to basically say, in defense of the Africans, basically, in my opinion, she basically said all lives matter. She said this is not right for any group to be discriminated against. All racism should be wrong. No. I want that same post. I want that same post that you have for Asians who are being discriminated against, which is wrong. Let me go ahead and say that. I don't believe in discrimination, period. I don't think discrimination is okay, period. But can I get that same energy that you had for your Asian side? Can I get that same energy for now your Black sisters and brothers who are now being discriminated against by your Asian side? Can I get that same energy? No, I'm not gonna get that. Okay. So again, I want you to ask your favorite K-pop singers, your favorite influencers, your favorite Asian activists. I want you to watch and see if they have that same energy. Again, when it comes to wearing braids, when it comes to the lip fillers, the ass being done, the darkening of the skin, the blackface and this and that. Yeah, they'll come on camera and say, listen, I respect Black culture. I just wanted to get my hair braided. Okay. When Black people are being killed, where's that same respect? Where's that same, I'm about to get on camera and say, listen, I respect Black culture. This is not okay. You won't see it. You won't. You won't see it. Just start thinking about ways in which you can support Black businesses. The face of the company is Black, it's Black owned. Black people have invested into this company and they are just looking for the support of the community to keep their livelihood afloat, right? But now we also have to remember that not everything is made in China. I do want to specifically talk about the beauty industry. Any products, any makeup that you use that is animal cruelty free is not made in China, because, you know, unfortunately they do test on animals a lot of times. Very inhumane conditions in which they test and torture animals for us to get the products that we need and that we use. So if products are not made in China, then they are animal cruelty free. So if you see a brand that is animal cruelty free, again, you know that it wasn't made in China. And then if it's not made in China, if it's animal cruelty free, it's not made in China, and it's Black owned, that's, for me, that's like a triple win. Again, don't be discouraged from supporting a Black owned business that may have manufacturers in China, because again, most of the manufacturers are in China. So don't be discouraged from that. I do believe, maybe not in my lifetime, but I do believe eventually, you know what, I'm gonna speak it into existence. In my lifetime, I will see, you know, an influx of Black manufacturing companies. So we'll see it. We will see it. We just need the money, child, honestly. We need the money and the guts. I got the guts, but I ain't got the money, Jesus. Please, Lord. I need the coins, honey, okay? I got the guts, Lord. I got the guts. I got the guts. I got the guts, and I got the guts. I got the guts. I got the guts. Got the guts, I need the coin. Listen, honestly, like, if anybody know Akon's contact, just be like, yo, Akon, your cousin, like, Akon, this is your cousin Eloho. Like, stop playing with me. I just need about 3-4 million, eh? This is Eloho, yes, from your mama's side. Stop playing with me. Locked up, they won't let me. Yes, I was the one on the hook. Nah, I'm just playing. But you, hello. Okay. I do want to give a quick shout out to my sponsor.
Jada's Luxury Beauty Supply Store is the only Black owned and Black operated beauty supply store in Hempstead, New York. Jada actively buys wholesale from Black owned businesses who are either established or up and coming. Jada's LuxuryBeautySupply.com offers products for men, women, boys, and girls. And of course, her products cater to people with natural and relaxed hair. Despite being discriminated against being the only black beauty supply store in her neighborhood, Jada still manages to keep her store open. Yes, even during the quarantine. So if you go, just tell her that Eloho sent you. Of course, I will have the link to her website and her social media handles in the description box, so be sure to check it out on your way out of this video.
Now, girl, I was on the phone last night with a good friend of mine. On the phone for like an hour last night. She was like, listen, call me before you drop this video, because she knew, everybody knew I was coming with a video, okay? She was like, call me before you drop this video. And we were on the phone for like an hour. I actually met her at a hair event. This is a story that it's all too familiar. It's kind of like I didn't experience it, and yet I experienced it. So I took a lot of notes, but basically she gave me the rundown on Korean beauty supply stores. Women, specifically black women, we buy products. Like, we love products. If they work, we're gonna use it. You know what I'm trying to say? We like to look good, we like to feel good. The companies are in China, so the manufacturers are in China, and they do business with the Koreans. So the Koreans are the ones that actually own the beauty supply stores that you and I go to. They are owned by the Koreans. However, their manufacturers are in China. So the Chinese are doing business with the Koreans, right? Boom. The way that she broke it down to me, again, like I said, I didn't experience it like on in a corporate level. However, simply shopping at a beauty supply store, you experience it. So one of the words that she used was, they stalk black women. And when she said that, I laughed, because I'm like, sounds about right. When you go into these beauty supply stores, 9 out of 10 black women have experienced being stalked, harassed, or just feeling very uncomfortable. Again, you are spending your money and you feel like you're doing someone a favor, right? You have someone watching you in the aisles, making sure you don't put an eyeliner in your pocket. And I'm not gonna act like theft doesn't happen, but when you specifically target a group of people as if we are the only ones who steal, or is that as if we don't have money because we're simply a black woman, when we are your #1 customer, and if it wasn't for black women, this business would not be in business, I have a problem with that. So she said, literally, they stalk black women. I said, sis, what you mean? They watch what we consume. They're watching our Instagrams. They're watching the popular influencers. They're watching, like, they take marketing to a predatory level, kind of more to like a more invasive level. You know what I'm trying to say? They almost kind of just want to get into our minds for the bottom line to make $1 off of us. And, you know, a lot of things that she told me, some of the things weren't shocking, but some of the things really were, because like I said, I can think about it from a business standpoint, right? Like wanting to get in your customer's head so that you can profit. But when you only want to get in my head so that you can profit and still discriminate and still and you're still racist, and you won't give anybody that looks like me a chance to even really have a piece of the pie in which you are eating from because of us, again, that's an issue for me. So my friend worked for a hair company. Korean hair company. And again, she said, #1, they do not, she said, they will not hire anyone who is not Korean at a level other than, let's say, social media marketing. You will not be in the meetings. If you are not Korean, you will only be hired on a low level of marketing. And again, I take things like that and apply it to us, right? Well, what if we did that? You know what I'm trying to say? Why can't we adopt that? You know, if you are not black, I mean, but this is we'll talk about that. You know, what if we had companies in which it was strictly black owned? If you are not black, you know, you can work for us, but you're not in our meetings. You're not with the higher ups. You're not with the corporate. You're not with the CEOs. But we're gonna talk about that we're gonna put that on the side burner too, because y'all not ready for that, because y'all want to include everybody and everything. So we're gonna put that on the side burner. But again, I just want to let you know, like, my thought process on things, where sometimes I see things as, well, damn, I wouldn't mind if we did that. I wouldn't mind if we had black owned businesses where from top to bottom it was all black people being hired. You know what I'm trying to say? But y'all ain't ready for that. We'll put that on the side. So she said they only hire blacks on a low level of marketing. You are not allowed to have relationships with the vendors, so you are not allowed to communicate with the people in China. You're not allowed to go with them to China when they're meeting with the vendors. They'll befriend the black women that they hire simply to basically garnish some more swag, to swagger jack a little bit more, you know, like, okay, so tell us, what are black women wearing now? What's in? How do black women want to look? What products do black women need? And then you give them this information. They take that information to their bosses. They're getting the raises. They're getting the recognition for these ideas. But that black girl that gave you all that information, she's, again, not getting a promotion, not getting invited to the table, not allowed to have these conversations, not allowed to go to China. Well, you don't want to go there anyway. Not allowed to have, you know, be in communication with the vendors. None of that. And like she said, that very same idea that you give to your Korean boss, oh, okay, thank you for this information. And about 2 weeks later, they're presenting it as if, so this is the new wave. You're looking like, bro, didn't I tell you this 2 weeks ago? Why I couldn't present this information? Where's my raise? Where's, you know, where's my credit? Where's, no, none of that. You're not getting that. What was also interesting was that she said, you know, when they are hiring for the higher up positions, a lot of the ads will be in Korean. They're not putting the ads in English. They're not saying, hey, you know, we're a company that's looking for a new manager of whatever. You know what I'm trying to say? It's not in English. It's nothing that you and I can understand. So when you're online looking for jobs, maybe at that level, you might have more than enough credentials, more than enough experience for that position. But because you are not Korean, you don't speak Korean, you don't read in Korean, you will not have an opportunity for that position. Okay, so they are not hiring anybody who does not look, sound like them. Nepotism, by definition, is the practice among those with power or influence of favoring relatives or friends, especially by giving them jobs. A world where we're all supposed to have equal opportunities, we're all supposed to be free, and you know, you shouldn't be judged by the color of your skin or what language you speak or how you look or your religious background. We should all have a chance, you know, to work in any and every field that, number one, like I said, you have experience and you have credentials in. Unfortunately, because of slavery, Africa was divided. Africa was divided and conquered. So we lost, a lot of us lost our native languages, you know, so the general language is English. Now, again, imagine if we had our own language. Okay, Blackanese, no, I'm kidding. But imagine we had our own language, right, in which all black people spoke this one language, and you know, maybe other people would have to learn and things like that, but we all spoke our own language. Like stuff like that, again, somebody will see that as like, oh, that's messed up, that's fucked up, and I'm like, damn, that's, I want to adopt that. I want to adopt that ideology. But you know, like I said, unfortunately, we were divided, and to a certain degree we are still divided. Yo, I remember when I went to one of the events, and again, it was a bunch of influencers there. I think I was looking for more wine. And I was like, yo, where's more? And they were like, oh, you can go in there and get it, right? It was this room, it was this door, it was closed. I opened the door. I kid you not, I opened the door, and it was a small room, kind of like a kitchen, and literally everybody in the room was like Asians wearing like all black. And I immediately was like, oh, hello. Because you know, you go from like a party where it's so colorful and fun out there, and then you go into this room and it's just like men in black, like Korean version. So I'm like, oh, sorry, you know, I just wanted to get some more wine. And they were like, oh, go ahead, hello, come in, you know, get more wine or whatever. It's like, thank you, you know, went to get my wine. So they were just kind of like looking on the phone. And I don't know, I didn't see what was on the phone, y'all, so I'm not gonna sit here and act like I saw what they were watching. But when I left the room, I was looking around like, I wonder if there's cameras in here and they're kind of watching us. You could connect the camera to your phone. I was like, yo, I wonder if they're in there watching us on the phone. But again, like, why aren't you guys out here socializing with us, talking to us? And I'm like, the fuck? Like, I posted an article. I posted an article from I want to say 2017, but I'll post it here. Of course, you know, these young black girls, they open a beauty supply store. You don't see that. You don't hear about that every day. It's not the first time that I heard about the Koreans undercutting black owned beauty supply stores. They don't want us in that space. The only space that they see for black women to profit in beauty or to be in beauty is on a customer level, or on a very low level of simply, yo, give us information on what these black girls want. Right? So when I read about these girls that went out of business because of the competition, I spoke to my friend about it. So I'm like, so how do you feel about that? And she was like, oh, absolutely. What the Koreans will do when you want to go into business as a black business, in beauty supply stores, we're talking about beauty here. When you want to go into business, what they'll do is maybe, she was like, yeah, they get real dirty and real competitive. What they'll do is they'll say, okay, my shop, the shop across the street, and the two shops up the block will all get together and say, yo, this black girl wants to, you know, they own this beauty supply store. What they'll do is they'll go to their manufacturers and they'll say, if you continue to do business with this girl, we won't support you. So you'll lose 4 customers, okay, that are sending you millions of dollars a year. You'll lose 4 customers if you decide to keep doing business with her. So all of a sudden, right, say if it was my salon, say if it was my beauty supply store, all of a sudden I'm reaching out to my manufacturers in China like, hey, I need a new batch of berets, right? I need a new batch of berets for my beauty supply store. Next thing you know, the manufacturers who I've been good friends with for the course of the year, and we've been doing good business, I've been paying them their money, they've been sending me my products, all of a sudden they either won't respond or, I'm sorry, we're out of that. Okay, you out of yellow? All right, how about some blues? Yeah, send me some blues. I'm sorry, we're out of blue. Red? We're out of red. Green? We're out of green. All of a sudden they're out of everything, or they just simply won't respond back to you. And that has happened more than you and I probably even will ever know. Because not everyone shares their story. Not everyone even understands when that happens, why it happened. So I'm glad, honestly, that this is happening, because there's so much dark secrets and so much ugly truths that we need to be aware of. Because again, things like that, you might say, oh, well, my beauty supply store got, you know, they don't do that. You don't know what they're doing behind the scenes. They're gonna smile in your face because they want your dollars. And I know that this resonates with you. Like I said, you may not have been in that specific, you may not have been the business owner, you may not have walked into the room and seen them watching you on their phones, but you know what it feels like when you're around them. Many black women have so many stories. Like, I will never forget that video in Brooklyn. Like, I will never forget. Like, they're getting bolder and bolder. Bolder and bolder. Will talk about you right in your face, bro. I remember telling, I swear, yo, this is recently. I remember telling, I went in a nail salon. It wasn't my nail tech. And what actually happened was, she used to do my nails. I didn't like the way she did my nails. So I got another girl to do my nails. And she kind of got a little salty because she wasn't doing my nails anymore. So she started saying something, and I was like, she was like talking in, you know, in Korean, and I was like, you know what, thank you for reminding me. Y'all know I'm very vocal. I said, thank you for reminding me. I actually need to download my translate Korean to English app. And I started just typing. I just started typing. I was like, yeah, I need to download my translate Korean to English app. And there was no more conversations to be had. I said, that's what I thought. Put my AirPods in, got my nose done. Like, you're not about to sit here and talk, bro. Like, they will sit there and talk about you to your face and still expect a tip, still expect respect, still expect you to come back in 2 weeks for your filling. I'm not coming back in 2 weeks for my filling. I'll press my nails on for the rest of my life before I come back in here for a filling. You dumb. Like, that's that. Now, so then she also told me, y'all ain't gonna like this little piece of information. She told me that they call virgin hair black gold. She told me that they call virgin hair black gold. I said, why do they call that black gold? She said, because to black women, they think that, and this might be true to an extent, you know, They think that hair is more valuable than gold, or hair is like the black woman's gold. And I said, damn. God damn it. God damn it though. Dude, they taught us to hate ourselves and love their wealth. That's why. And then we were starting to talk about, yeah, it's a lot of black men. She said, look it up. She was sending me links. She's like, look it up. And I want you guys to do this too. But she said, look it up. There's a lot of black men who will marry even the poorest of Chinese women just to have that business connect. And they don't have no problem saying it. Listen, I don't really find the woman attractive. I didn't really love her. I didn't care. I needed that business connect. Yes, I will marry even a poor Korean woman because I need that business connect. I said, stupid boy. They need that business connect. The only way they're gonna get that business connect is from wifey. She gonna teach me the language. She gonna walk me in them doors, and that's the only way for me to my black ass to open up some factories. And that's where the money is, in the manufacturing factories. And I'm like, yeah, well, what about these niggas out here that's just no shade, no tea? I said, what about these people? And you know what? But that, you know what? Let me talk about that for a second. That's also another conversation that kind of dives into, why is it that, not to call people trash, but it's a saying, why is it that every other race, like, their trash, what they would consider trash, is the black man's treasure? That also goes into that. That goes into that. Like the most bottom basic boy. Y'all willing to go in the garbage. Y'all willing to go in the garbage and make that a treasure. Meanwhile, you got educated, beautiful, smart black women. Y'all will cheat on those women. I mean, they cheat on everybody, so I can't even really say that. But y'all know where I'm trying to go with that point. Every man's trash is the black man's treasure. That's a problem for me. So we could talk about that in a conversation, in a comment section too. You know, to say, listen, but China's also very, you know, very anti-black with their own people. A lot of the darker skinned Asians, you'll see it. I mean, I posted about colorism and you know, in different Asian countries, even the darker skinned Asians. And when I say darker skinned Asians, I don't even mean, like, the scale is different. Places like Vietnam, they're building factories because these are the more darker Asians. So they're building factories and they're hiring the darker skinned Asians to work in the factories. Now, honestly, the colorism, I don't think that, I don't know. I don't think that my vocabulary right now can really kind of like, or my mind can actually comprehend the colorism and the anti-blackness that is literally embedded in a lot of these Asian countries. Like some of them, it's so embedded that they, like, when it's so embedded and it's so embedded, it's so generational that they don't even, you know, like when you don't even realize that you're being racist or that you're being anti-black because it's just so natural and just so common to be like, no, I don't want to be dark, or like to just outright say it and to just be like, no, like the fake, like the disgust with black, with being black or being dark. And when I say dark, again, probably maybe like the color of the palm of my hand, you know, like a little melanin, nothing close to this, but you know, like some type of melanin, like even that is considered dark skin, and it's considered, it's not beautiful to them. You know, pale white is beauty to them, and for them it goes deeper than just being beautiful. It's literally your livelihood. When you're whiter, you can get better jobs. When you're whiter, you know, the men will find you attractive and want to marry you. And I didn't understand when I was working in Sephora as a makeup artist, I didn't understand why all these women would literally come in and want foundation that was 20 shades lighter than them. Like they would literally be like, no, too dark, too dark, too dark. And it's like a slap in the face almost as a real dark-skinned woman. Like, you telling me this is too dark and frowning up your face. And I would literally stop and be like, so what's wrong with being dark though? They're like, no, I won't get job. Like, I won't get job. It's too dark. I need white. I need white. So it's like, to an extent, it's like, who do I really get mad at? Like, that's really what you think, ma'am. Like, that's really how you were raised and brought up. That's how you're raising and bringing up your daughter. That's how she's gonna raise and bring up her daughter. That's how she's gonna raise and bring up her daughter. Like, It's literally like, it's literally a part of their culture to be anti-black. Imagine actual black, okay, melanated. This is why we got the melanin popping shirt right here, okay? Imagine actual melanated dark black people. Of course they're gonna treat them like shit. I'm gonna use you to make money. If you ain't making me money, why the fuck you here? And we see that. We see that where you know, in an instance where 5 Nigerians allegedly had the corona, now all of a sudden all blacks, y'all gotta go. Y'all all gotta go because y'all bringing it back up. We don't want to be the face of the virus. Y'all need to be the face of the virus, because while y'all leaving here, why we here? We don't need you here. We don't need you in our business. Like, just go back to Africa. But then again, like I said, we need a Asian word for audacity, because they will take that same energy, go to Africa, and be xenophobic. But we supposed to fight for the Asians in America. Meanwhile, they will torture, undercut, disrespect, and annihilate the black people where they live. So I'm sorry, I don't have it in me. I no longer have it in me to say that's xenophobic, that's not right, when I have never seen you yourself stand up for the xenophobia or the anti-blackness that come charging out of China or Korea or any one of them countries. I don't see that same energy. Therefore, my cape, don't have it. Now, it's gonna take a lot of y'all to burn your capes, I understand, because we as a people, we're Captain Save-A-Holes, right? We love black men to the rescue, black woman to the rescue. Y'all love to save everybody but yourselves. I understand. It's been, again, it is, you know, slavery has done that. Slavery has done that, you know, colonization has done that. But I need us to see the bigger picture. And I'm actually really excited because a lot of us are seeing the bigger picture. When I first posted it, I got a lot of pushback. Second time I posted it, it's a little bit of pushback. Third time, now we getting on time. And so honestly, we just gotta continue to have these conversations. I feel like the more conversations that we have, the more that we can, the more we'll see. The more that we'll see it. Thank God for these videos of these, you know, these people showing like, look, my wife is being denied access to the hospital because she's black. Thank God for these videos, because China will say, this is not true, this is not happening. They actually try to spin the narrative and say, actually, you know, a black person bit the nurse. They said a black person bit the nurse, which is why they're saying no black people can go to the hospital. And again, I wasn't there, but I don't believe it. I don't believe it, because China doesn't tell the truth about things, so I don't necessarily believe it. But again, mental illness, why we never talk about mental illness? Why black people don't get the mental illness pass? Why we don't get the mental illness pass? Maybe the woman was mental ill. The patient could have very well been mental ill, which is why she bit the person. Maybe somebody was being racist, which is why she bit the person. Why we don't get the same passes that everybody else? No, they'll make it seem like she was perfectly in her right mind and she bit somebody. And because she bit somebody, we are not letting black people in the hospitals anymore. In my opinion, if you just out here biting people, you might have a mental illness. So I'm just gonna go ahead and say, if she bit that nurse, she was mental. And we need to treat mental illness as severely as it is. We need to treat it. So she was mental, and you can't chuck up a whole group of people to that one instance. Because when we do that to y'all, okay, when we start talking about eating bats and bat soup and dogs and cats, when we do that, we're now being racist and xenophobic, right? So we shouldn't do that. We shouldn't generalize. Don't generalize the lady that bit the nurse. But this pregnant lady, this black pregnant woman had nothing to do with that lady that bit that nurse. But they'll use that as an excuse. Okay, now let's keep going. We got off topic a little bit, but I know I get a little, you know. She said they're like a mafia. She said they're like a gang. The Korean chains, they're like a gang that we ain't letting nobody else in. You gotta be born in, beat the fuck up in. Even if they beat you the fuck up, child, they ain't letting you in. Hold on, I'm a little thirsty. I like a little cup. So we started getting into, you know, sourcing hair, and I said, okay, so we also want to be realistic. This is a very realistic conversation. We want to be realistic, right? After this quarantine, the girls are going to get their hair done. The girls are going to get their hair done, okay? The girls are getting their hair done, you know? The wigs, the weaves, the protective stylings, like the braids, like where are they getting this hair? How are there any other sources of hair? Like my nigga, like where else can we get this hair, right? This is what I'm telling her. She's like, listen, Asia is the #1 source, the #1 importer, like #1 source. She was like, listen, they go as far as to go into the garbage for hair, you know. They'll get people's brushes. Hey, can we just have your brush? Can we have your brush? Can we have your brush? Taking these people's brushes just for the hair, right? And I started to get creeped out. I'm not gonna lie. I started to get creeped out, and I was like, oh, I don't want no garbage hair. And I was like, oh, okay, that's a little creepy. So then we started talking about synthetic hair. I'm like, okay, so synthetic hair. Is it animal hair? What's synthetic hair? She said synthetic hair is plastic. It's literally plastic, mimicked to look like hair. And I said, okay, so it's plastic. And we started talking about Kanekalon. She's like, Kanekalon is not a type of hair. It's a Japanese company. And basically it's a plastic company. And they, you know, they have the machines and things like that to turn the plastic into hair. Like, even with like the kinky wigs and like the afro kinky wigs, I'm like, that's still their hair? She's like, yeah, bro. She was like, they literally have like tools and steaming processes and like the tiniest of tools that they wrap the hair around to get that really tight coil, or, you know, that looser coil, or whatever the case may be. She was like, it's all their hair, bro. And I'm like, so you telling me we even get nappy hair from them? I got a problem with that. I got a problem with that. I got a problem with that. I was like, oh, girl. She was like, yeah, you didn't watch, what was that documentary? She was like, you didn't watch Good Hair by Chris Rock? I was like, I'm not gonna lie, the title kind of turned me off, and I watched some of it, but it was kind of like cringy. I wasn't ready for that conversation at the time. You know, it happens. So I wasn't ready. But I'm like, that's real cringy though. But either way, I'm like, damn. Okay. So, you know, I'm absorbing everything. I don't have the answers to everything. I'm just taking this all in and, you know, bringing this conversation to all of us, because I feel like somewhere in the comment section, somewhere, we're going to spark a good conversation and we're gonna be able to bring change, right? To tell black women not to wear weaves and extensions and things like that's just not gonna, I'm just saying, I don't think that's gonna happen. I don't think so. But again, all I could do is bring the information, right? Bring the information and let that sit within you, and we could come up with ways in which we can bring about change. Again, I'm all for putting those dollars into black hands, even if on the back end, you know, some factory is getting $100 off of it, at least up front. That black woman that invested in, you know, in her vendors and things like that, she's making a profit. So I'm here for that. She was just telling me some other things. Girl, let me tell you what she told me. She said they have magazines. So, girl, this is back to the stalking thing. Magazines. She said, Eloho, you're probably in their magazines. I said, excuse me? Because I never got a check to be put in nobody's magazine. So my face don't need to be in nobody's magazine. They'll take our pictures, print it out, ship it to each other, and say, these are what the girls look like. She got this many likes, she got those many likes, this is this type of hair, this type of hair, this is what they like. And what they'll do is, in some cases, is they'll post a picture up, like let's just say a vendor, they'll post a picture up, my picture, and say, hey, I'm wearing I absolutely love it, best hair I've ever had. I said, excuse me? That's called an invasion of privacy, sir. I want my money. I need a check. I need a check. But you know what? I say, you know why I believe you? Because somebody sent me my picture on, I think it was AliExpress. Somebody sent me a picture of me on AliExpress. It was a picture of me on Amazon, like in an ad. I have my pictures on Amazon, my pictures on AliExpress. I'm like, bruh, none of these companies hit me up to review their hair or to use my likeness. Like, somebody owe me a check. Somebody in China owe me a check, or 2, or 3. I need a couple million because I need to open up my own factory. Then I found this video just to put the nail in the coffin for y'all. There were literally exhibits in China and in different parts of Asia. There are literally museums and exhibits where they are comparing black people to monkeys, like side by side. Side by side, comparing us to monkeys, to apes, bamboos, tigers, giraffes, comparing us to animals. And this is why I say things like this is embedded. So when we experience that racism, not just from the Chinese government, but on all levels, when we experience it, it's not in my mind. Like I didn't make this up. They didn't even make it up. They learned this. This is taught in their books. This is in their museums. Like, anti-blackness is really embedded within their culture, and in a lot of cultures. It's not just them. It's in a lot of cultures. Even in black cultures, anti-blackness is embedded. And it's really disheartening. Somebody, like some people from the hair company came in from China or from Korea, and they literally were like, well, like, do you have a tail? Somebody really asked them, the black girls, did they have tails? Like, did they get their tails removed? Like, I need y'all to understand, they, grown-ass adults really thought that we have tails, like monkey tails. They really thought we have monkey tails. They were taught that we have, like, we're really monkeys, my nigga. Like, they really think we're monkeys. Which makes sense because they treat us like animals in a lot of cases. But if I'm like, y'all putting up side by sides. You don't want me to put up a side by side. See, I'm not gonna fight fire with fire. I'm gonna fight fire with success. But don't push me. Don't push me when I'm on the edge, okay? Because I'm gonna come swinging. Don't push me when I'm on the edge. But y'all got the nerve to put up side by sides. I need you to look in the mirror. If this corona ain't do nothing, I hope it woke black people to fuck up about what's really going on overseas. Because a lot of times as Americans, we feel like we're free. We're equal. I can do this, I can do that. My nigga, China's gonna take over the world. China's gonna take over the world. And with these sentiments, do you really want this shit on your doorstep? We gotta get a code. We gotta get on the same page. Like, I'm getting chills right now. I just want to thank you guys for watching. If you made it thus far, share this video, guys. I mean, share this video. Share it on all your platforms. Share it with your friends. Send the links out. Send the text out. Everybody bored. Everybody needs something to watch. Like, let's bring something to this conversation other than we shouldn't treat them how they treat us. We need to turn a blind eye. Good. We got that part. We get it. We don't treat them how they treat us. We get it. That's not of God anyways. We get it. What are we gonna do from here on out is the conversation we need to be having. How are we as a people? How can we be independent? That's the problem. When you're so dependent on other people, they could easily say, you eat today or you don't eat today. Like I said, black people, we are the best cooks. You can fry your own chicken. We're the best cooks. Anything creative, black women, you got it, baby. You got the magic. You got the sauce. Hair, nails, makeup. What can't you do? What can't you learn? Black women are the #1 educated. We need to act like it. Stop being so, well, she do my eyebrows the best. Learn how to do your eyebrows. If you're not a person that's good with business, invest your money into someone that you know is good with business. Last thing. New York Attorney General launches a hotline for Asian Americans to report discrimination. So they now have a hotline. Honestly, I think that's great because I've been also hearing the stories. They're being spit on, they're being called all types of names and things like that. And they're like, bro, like, I ain't got nothing to do with that. I get you. Where's our hotline? Where's the hotline for the black woman that was getting her nails done at the nail salon and got beat up by the Koreans and acetone and nail polish poured in her face and beat with a broom? Or the Koreans that shot a black woman in the back of her head dead. Where was her hotline? I ain't mad at the hotline. I just want to know where's ours. I love that people have a safe space to call somebody when they need help. We're all human at the end of the day. We will all live and we will all die. There's no special, we all going back in the ground. But we ain't all safe while we here. So where is the hotline for African Americans? I got a hotline for Asian Americans. Where's the hotline for African Americans? Where's the hotline for the Africans in China? Where's the hotline for the Africans in Africa? Where's the hotlines for the Africans in Jamaica? And somebody was also telling me in Jamaica, they were telling me, they said, listen, Eloho, there was no way, I had a conversation. They said there's no way for Jamaica to survive without the Chinese right now. And that's a problem for me. Castor oil, why does it have to be manufactured in China if it's Jamaican black castor oil? Why you need China, bro? Let's talk about it down in the comment section. I hope you made it thus far. I mean, really, all you really got to do is listen and think. If you are a black-owned business and you would like to be featured in my videos, I do offer affordable rates to put your ads into my video. So you can go ahead and email me. Yeah, girl, I want to hear what y'all have to say down in the comment section. And I'll be right down there with y'all. Okay, so I'll see you at the next one. God bless.